Blog Talk Radio.
Well, good morning. This is your life coach, Gina Cherie, and you are tuned in to the Daily Dose. Happy Saturday, everybody. I hope that you guys are having an amazing weekend so far. It's like 10:30 here. I'm on Eastern time. I'm in this peachy Georgia. The sun seems to be out today, so we might have a good Saturday, depending on. It always tries to rain out here, but right now the sun is shining. So welcome to the show. We have a good topic for today, and I picked this topic because I myself is still trying to learn how to deal with anger, conflict, when people upset me, and how to do that and stay godly at the same time. So that is something that I feel like it needs to be talked about because I'm in the learning portion, and I know that I'm not the only one. I know that sometimes our flesh takes over and we're quickly angered, and then we say things or we act out of character when we are angry. And so I did some reading, did some research, and how we can not be so quick to anger, and how we can deal with conflict when someone angers us. So that is the title, Resolving Conflict from a Godly Perspective, and how do you handle conflict in a godly way. So I'm going to give you guys some tools and some encouragement at the end, like we always do. We're going to run through about 7 different steps here that we have that is speaking about conflict. And 7 biblical steps to resolving conflict. Let's run through the 7 of them real quick, and then we'll just kind of talk them one by one. As we get in, we'll be live for about 45 minutes this morning. Our lines are open, so if you want to add to the conversation, let me know how you resolve conflict and how or if you had anger issues, how you healed from that, and what you do now when someone upsets you. So if there's something that is not mentioned here, give me a call at 563-999-3642, and you can add to the conversation. If you guys have a book out there, or you have another podcast or anything that's going to help us learn how to deal with conflict in a positive and godly way, then don't hesitate to call me at 563-999-3642. Okay, so let's jump right into this, you guys. We got about 40 minutes left in the studio. So the first one, take the initiative. Number 2, confess your part of the conflict. Number 3, listen for the hurt. Number 4, consider their perspective. Number 5, tell the truth tactfully. Because I know sometimes when we're trying to explain and get our point across, we don't care how we do it, as long as we can sting them and we can hurt their feelings and break them down, as long as they see our point. So telling the truth tactfully, I think that's a very, very good one. Fix the problem, not the blame. Focus on reconciliation, not resolution. So those are some of the 7 ones that we're discussing. Go over, okay? What are the biblical conflict resolution skills? The first step in biblical approach to conflict resolution is turning your gods inward and inspecting our emotional response, checking them against God's word, repenting of our sins, and preparing our hearts for a humble posture toward our adversary. Number 3, what does God say about handling conflict? So this was a good one. You guys can further read this in 2 Timothy 2:24. A servant of the Lord must not quarrel, but must be kind to everyone. Be able to teach and be patient with difficult people. When someone disagrees with what you are saying, maintain gracious, gentle, and patient attitude instead of becoming angry and defensive. Let's read that last part again. Maintain a gracious, gentle, and patient attitude instead of becoming angry and defensive. Now, I can definitely relate to that bottom piece of becoming angry and defensive. It took me a while to get here, you guys. I'm not going to lie to you, but to be very transparent with you, when I was always in defense. I was always felt like I had to defend myself through anything. So I quickly got angry, got shut down, and now I'm just in defense mode. And everything you say, I'm going to defend myself because you are going to see my point of view and see how I am right and how I have a voice and you're going to listen to me. So it took me a long time to learn tools in which to handle myself better with that and not be so defensive and be open to what people are saying to me and try to have a better understanding and have a conversation because shutting down just doesn't solve anything. And I was in conversation with quite a few people and recent, and they talked about how if someone upsets them or if they don't agree with someone or if any kind of conflict arises, they just shut down, tune out, and then just avoid. And I don't think that's the way to handle things. I don't think that it's going to really solve anything if we shut down and we hold on to those feelings. And not be willing to see it from their perspective. Because remember, some of the 7 things that we talked about at the beginning is trying to see it from their perspective. So shutting down and being defensive, it really never solves anything. Now, I understand that in the moment, if you need to take a second and walk away and kind of calm down and then come back and revisit the conversation and have a better perspective on it because now you're not speaking in the flesh. I can see that. I did have to do that quite a few times. And now I was listening to a podcast that my sister gave me to listen to, and she, the lady in the podcast, I can't think of her name, but the lady in the podcast was saying when she needed a breather or when she was in a conflict or disagreement or what have you, and she started feeling herself get aroused and or anxiety set in, she would do a countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as I'm listening to it, I'm just like, that's stupid. I'm not going to use that. But I find myself using that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 countdown, and it actually, you guys, it actually helps me to put everything back in perspective in that moment, right? It helps me to keep my mouth shut and not say what my flesh wants to say, right? And I'm able to just take a moment and breathe through the situation in that moment. So as corny and as stupid as I thought it sounded when I was listening to it, I actually started using it, and what I can say is that it definitely works. Um, and I'm able to I'm able to revisit the conversation and able to have an actual conversation, not to just give feedback, but to have an understanding. And that's a whole nother conversation right there, right? Like, that's a whole nother show. We could talk about that for quite some time with people and having conversations, and they're listening to have a response, but they're not listening to have an understanding. So one day on that conversation. How does God want us to handle difficult situations, difficult people? Even if sometimes you pray through gritted teeth with clenched fist, try to call upon Matthew 5:44. But I say to you, love your enemies, bless those who curse you, do good to those who hate you, and pray for those who spitefully use you and persecute you. Now, I know what y'all saying. Love your enemy. Because a lot of times we don't even want to be around our enemy. We do not want to be around people that we cannot stand, that get on our nerves, all that good stuff. And you're talking about you got to love your enemy, bless those who curse you, do good to those who hate you. Like, that's easier said than done. And yes, and I totally understand that. I know how hard it is. And to give you a little personal conflict that I was going through, and I tried this. So I had a coworker that we just kept bumping heads, and we just kept bumping heads, you guys. And it became a big thing to where now I was getting out of character, and I was lowering my morals and standards and becoming easily angered. And when I tell you, just the fear, the presence or voice of this person just rubbed me the wrong way. They were angry all the time and spiteful all the time, and I was just like, Lord, like, I want to still continue being here, but how can I can't say that I want to live a godly life and I'm a godly woman, and when I'm in the presence of this person, I'm irritated and I'm all out of character and yada, yada, yada. So I came home one night and I don't know why. I can't tell you till this day. I can't tell you why. But I went to God in prayer. And I prayed for this person. And not only did I pray for this person like I didn't have anything, no part in this, I prayed and I asked God to forgive me for allowing this person to take me out of character, allowing this person to have my flesh speak instead of speaking from a godly place. That one prayer. And that song, Leave It at the Altar, I left it there. And when I tell you God answers prayers mighty quickly, same week, because I think it was on a Monday that I went to prayer about it. And that same week, I went in and I was trying to, you prayed about it, you let it go, right? So I went in and as soon as I seen this person, ugh, right? I had to keep in mind that I left it at the altar. And she said hello. But the way that she said hello this time was totally different than the usual. And I can hear the difference. I felt the difference. And from that hello, I said hello back and sincerely wanted to say hello back. And I remember my God, like you did that so quickly. You stepped right in. And from that simple hello to each other, we began to talk and we began to have an understanding. And we became friends after that. And it's crazy that my sister-in-law told me that we were going to become friends one day. And I was like, no, we not. Like, I can't say it, her, no, we not. But we became friends, and we let everything else go. And now if we have a misunderstanding, if we have any kind of conflict that arises, we have a conversation, and we do it calmly, and we listen to each other. So praying for our enemies, praying for people that curse us, and that are spiteful against us. Prayer does work, and that is my testimony for going on my knees and praying for my enemies. So I can tell you, prayer does work. So remember that, and I think we will talk about this at the end. But if you guys have your own personal experience on how you overcame conflict with someone, if you prayed for someone, how hard or easy it was to go on your knees and pray for your enemy, my lines are still open, 563-999-3642. All right, so let's keep pushing along. How do you show God's love to difficult people? And then I'm going to go through what they list, and then you guys don't just take my word for it. I want you guys to go seek it out, read the Bible for yourself, just don't take my word for it. I tell you guys that all the time. If I'm reading something from the Bible, a passage from the Bible or a book or anything, you guys don't take just my word for it. Go read it for yourselves. Believe the best. 1 Corinthians 13:7. Pray for yourself. Matthew 7:3-5. Pray for them. Remember, we just talked about that. You've got to pray for your enemies and people that spite you. Matthew 5:44. Be ready to forgive. Now, I know I'm not the only one that be holding on to stuff. I used to hold on to things for a long, long time, and not want to forgive. And in my head, they hurt me. I'm not forgiving nothing. Like, it's a battle from here on out. But being ready to forgive, that is not easy. I'm going to say that. It's not easy, but we have to learn how to forgive. And you can read that in Ephesians 4:32. Cover their sin, 1 Peter 4:48. Don't gossip. I will say that again. Do not gossip. And I know sometimes when we are explaining the situation, or we just want to get it out, it can lead to gossiping about the person. And I told myself for this year, and that's one of the things that in a earlier show, stepping into 2024, things that we're going to let go, 7 things that we're going to let go in 2023 or 2024. And that was on the list. Do not gossip. And go to God in prayer. So this is what I've done. When people come my way with things, I try to, I understand that you're angry, but pray about it. And I'm learning to do the same thing instead of talking about the situation. Go to God and pray about it. And then I like to switch the conversation. What are some of your goals? What have you done for 2024? And let's not talk about that person or those people. Let's talk about things that are going to inspire, things that we are working on, exciting things that has happened to you, right? So just kind of change the conversation from gossiping to something that's positive. Bless them with your words, Ephesians 4:29. And I say this to you guys all the time, whether it's a conflict or not. Blessing people with your words, and it doesn't have to be much. Like you could just tell somebody, that you are valued, you are worthy, we love you, we care about you. Those simple things can take somebody's day a long, long way, right? They can change their perspective on life itself just by giving somebody kind words and blessing them with words. Help them if they need help. Luke 6:27. We all should know we need to move in kindness, and you guys heard me talk about this on the podcast, helping people in need. And you're probably thinking, well, what if I don't have much to give to help, like material-wise? There's other ways that you can help, right? You can help by giving somebody resources. If you know that they it's simple, like if they need health insurance and you know somebody that can help them get health insurance at a very low cost or whatever, that's still helping, right? Because you're helping them gain something that they did not have. If they are in need of shelter and you know a good shelter and you know how to help them get them, it doesn't always have to be like a material item that needs to be given in order to help someone, right? You can help somebody by encouraging them with a poem, with a song, with kind words. That is still giving. And you can definitely do that, and that doesn't take money, right? It doesn't. It just takes your time and your heart being in the right place and doing it sincerely. So helping them if they need help. Luke 6:27. How to resolve conflict with someone who doesn't want to talk. Now, remember, we talked about people shutting down and people not wanting to have a conversation. But how do we do that and when they don't want to talk? This is something that you might want to say. I get that you don't want to have this conversation, or I know this is difficult for you to talk about. One thing we need to do is outline your next step and reinforce why having the conversation is essential to you, and make it clear what choices or actions you'll have to take if they refuse to engage. Now, you can't make people talk, right? But one thing that we can do, like, this is what I do with my daughter when she is upset and she doesn't want to talk. She got in that shutdown mode and she doesn't want to talk. I have used that line, like, I know it's difficult for you to talk about, or you don't want to have this conversation right now. So what I've learned to do, because I used to get upset about it and try to make her talk, and that wasn't solving anything, right? So what I started doing was giving her a moment. Like, yeah, you're upset right now. Go to your room, go take a shower, go debrief, and then we can come back and visit this conversation. So that way I'm not in anger when I'm speaking to her, and she kind of was able to get her thoughts, collect her thoughts and her emotions, and then come back and really tell me, what it was that angered her, right? Because sometimes when we're dealing with people that are angry, they're not angry they might not be angry for something that just happened. It could be a collective of things, right? People hold on to things, and just like a man and a woman arguing, you think she's arguing about because you forgot to get the sugar, but she's upset with you about something you did a long time ago, right? It could be similar things to that. So I give her a chance to collect her emotions and collect her thoughts and kind of, debrief. And then when I could just see the look in her eye when I know, like, she's all right and she's ready to have a conversation. But what I also do is make sure that she has a safe space in order to feel comfortable to speak. A lot of times people don't speak on things that are bothering them because they don't feel safe and they feel like no one cares about what's going on with them in order to get down to the root of the problem. Because at times when you're dealing with anger, you're dealing with the surface. You're not dealing with the root of the problem. So if you're dealing with somebody that it just shuts down, doesn't want to talk, give them a moment. And don't get angry. Don't get upset with them if they're not ready to have that conversation right now. But just encourage them and let them know, like, you have a safe space. And with that, like, give them a second. And I promise you they'll come back. I promise you that they will come and they will talk to you about their issue. And then, you know, once they're able to trust you and knowing that you are a safe space for them to be vulnerable in, because a lot of people are not okay with being vulnerable with people, then you will soon learn how easier it will become to have a conversation or deal. And then you will see over time how less and less and less that they will shut down and be quiet. And then they'll start talking to you. So try that. And let me know. Meet me back here and let me know how it works out for you. But I know from my learning and my experiences that it does work. And now my daughter tells me everything. And I know you're thinking, she doesn't tell you everything. Oh, my daughter's pretty open because I allow her to be, and I try to do that with people around me. I allow them to just be who they are and to let them know they have a safe space, which they're not going to be judged in what they're telling me. And see if I am a firm believer, if I cannot help you with the resolution, I'm going to get you to somebody that can. If it's something that's out of my spectrum, I'm going to get you to somebody that can help you. I'm not going to just leave and abandon you in that moment. I'm going to try to get you to the right people. So try that. How to overcome anger biblically. Jesus teaches us on anger. Don't let anger control you. Address it in love. Don't seek revenge when mistreated. Share God's generosity. Get help for your problems before you help others. Know when you need to withdraw. And I'm going to take that as what I just talked about, taking a moment and collecting your thoughts, collecting your emotions, and then revisiting the conversation. Pause in quiet to pray and think. Stay calm. And I know we got to work on that one, staying calm. Ask questions. Sometimes answer a question with a question. Like the follow-up question, well, why do you feel that way? What was it that I said that made you feel that way? And then be quiet and listen. Listen, so that way they can get it out and they feel like they're being heard. A lot of times conversations go left because the other person is not feeling like they're being heard. All right. So we have about 15 minutes left. You guys were doing really, really well. So our last piece, or a couple of our last pieces, how do you ask God to remove anger? You can do a prayer. There's a lot of passages in the Bible that talks about anger. We just gave you some of those. You guys can go read those as well. You can confess that times when you're offended or lash out in anger, or you let your feelings lead. Please give, like you can ask God to please give you a discerning heart and a peace-loving spirit so that you'll know when to let an offense go and to learn from it and when to respond to it. So that is one. That's one way. But like always, you guys, we're going to close. I like to close out the live show and the podcast with a prayer and just some encouraging words. I thought this was going to be a lot longer than expected, but we are down to 14 minutes left, so we're doing pretty good. Our lines are still open if you guys want to join in the conversation, 563-999-3642. Again, 563-999-3642. Sometimes I got to go in and do it a second time because people say I talk fast, so you might not catch the number. So I have to slow it down the second time. But 563-999-3642. We are talking about resolving conflict from a godly perspective. We're giving you guys some tools, a little bit of a self-experience, and things that we can use to help us, and things that the Bible says that we should do when we are angry, or how to resolve conflict with people. We also spoke about when people want to shut down, people don't like to talk, and how we can help through that. So let's do it, guys. Prayer to deal with anger. So we're gonna go into prayer right now. Sorry, guys, I just had something come up I want to see, because people can email me. So I'm checking emails. I'm doing two things at one time, guys. But I'm checking emails as well. And if you guys want to email me, if you guys are not comfortable calling in, you guys can email me at hostginacherie@gmail.com. And my chat is open as well. I always forget to say that, but my chat is open as well. So if you guys want to come into the chat, we can do the chat as well, and I do answer that back, and we can bring you in on part of the conversation through the chat. Okay, so, Lord Father, I come before you today to pray for a change of heart. Many times I find myself angry when things don't go my way, but your word says that I should not let the sun go down in my anger. So today I pray that you help calm my anger when feelings of hurt and frustration cause me to get angry. Please calm my heart and give me peace. Help me to control my anger. Let your Holy Spirit reside in me and teach me to be slow to anger. Lord of peace, as I stand amidst the waves of anger, I seek your guidance to navigate toward tranquility. Teach me to embrace patience, to understand others' perspectives, and to communicate with a heart-seeking harmony. Guide my thoughts toward resolutions, not conflict. Let me be a vessel of your peace, transforming anger into understanding and discord into unity. Bless me with wisdom to recognize the power of peaceful words and actions, in mending what is broken, and to pursue peace in every aspect of my life. All right, you guys. So you guys can take that with you. If this episode is not for you, like I always say in my podcast, make it a domino effect and pass it along to someone that you feel that can benefit from it. And the conversation doesn't have to stop here, you guys. You guys can, like I said, you guys can email me at hostginacherie. You guys can get in contact with me through my social channels. My Instagram is GSL_radio. You guys can leave a message there as well. Or you guys can go directly to my website, ginacherie.com, GINASHERRIE.com, and you guys can subscribe with your email and leave me an email there. But you guys can do the same if you guys want to be a guest on the show. There is a way for you to do that by going through my website, and the links are there so that you can do that. If you have an idea for the show that you guys want to talk about, you guys can definitely leave me a message as well. And then my YouTube channel is up, you guys. I always forget to tell you guys that the YouTube channel is up at Coach Gina Cherie. Ooh, yeah. Maybe you guys will go to it if I remember it, huh? But it's at Coach Gina Cherie. The channel is still new, so I'm still learning and navigating everything. So be patient with me on that, you guys. Yes, at Coach Gina Cherie, the Daily Dose with Life Coach Gina Cherie. But it's still new. I'm still working out the kinks. You guys know I'm a little slow. And this technology thing is not my thing, so I'm learning as I go. But you guys can go and check out the YouTube channel. And don't forget, if you guys cannot catch the live show, you guys can listen to the podcast on anchor.fm/Gina764. You guys can also listen on Spotify and iHeartRadio and Pandora. The show is also there. Just type in the Daily Dose with Life Coach Gina Cherie. I think that's all. Oh, one last thing, you guys. So I'm very excited about this. So things have been like 2024 has been, doors have been opening already. So I'm very excited to partner, not want to partner with, to take my show to another broadcasting network. And we've been talking about it, and I just signed my contract. And so you guys are going to hear that coming out. And so I cannot wait to actually get into the studio and start recording live from there. But hold on. I want to give a shout out to Ike Eval Wilson with K Sounds Radio. So I had a pleasure of meeting him. And we just talked about what I'm doing, what they're doing, and they welcomed me aboard to be a part of K Sound Network, the Sound of Waves. So you guys are going to start to hear the show on there and doing some work. And I'm excited to get in the studio, learn some things that I do not know, and hopefully I could be a blessing to them as well. So shout out to K Sounds Praise Radio and the things that they're doing and how they are reaching out and bringing people up with them and being a blessing to others. So, and like always, if you're a blessing to someone, try to return and be a blessing to someone else. So I'm really excited about that. So you guys are going to start hearing that, hearing me talk about that a lot and being on that network. So God is just working in just wonderful, wonderful ways. So I'm excited. So keep me in prayer, you guys, as I keep you guys in prayer and growing and learning and just becoming a better person and walking in the way in which God will have you to walk. So we're going to follow up on the podcast, you guys. And so thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Daily Dose live in the studio on blogtalkradio.com. I am your life coach and your host, Gina Cherie, and I will see you guys next time. And don't forget, every Saturday we're here at 10:30 Eastern Time because I'm in this peachy Georgia. But you guys can meet me here every Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Until next time, you guys, pass this along, make this a domino effect. And like I always say, love somebody, hug somebody, and encourage somebody. Have a blessed Saturday.
You may never need to walk through our door, but if you do, you may need more than just advice. You're hurt and scared, but I want you to know that you can talk to us about anything. We will get to know you so that we can tell your story together. We will stand with you every step of the way as your attorneys, and we will always have your back, no matter what. Farah and Farah, protecting you and your family.
Call 1-800-500-5555. 12016 Abercorn Street, Savannah, Georgia.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.